Hey everybody, it's time for our last What Is It Big for the week. Are you ready? Let's sing. What is it? What is it? What is it? Do you know? It's it's empty. But you know why it's empty? Because this is really what was supposed to be in here. But look how big this book is. It wouldn't have fit in the What Is It Big. But this is another book about home and neighborhood, and I want to read it to you. It's called On Our Street. All right, so we're going to learn about what these kids see and find on their street. All right, quick question. Do you remember, we've been talking about home and neighborhoods. So your home is where you do what? It's where you live. It's where you eat. It's where you sleep. It's where you spend time with your family. It's where you play. We've also been talking about our neighborhood. Do you remember what our neighborhood is? Our neighborhood is the area that's close to our house. So remember, when I look out my window in my neighborhood, I see houses, I see grass, I see trees, I see streets, I see cars, I see people. That's what I see in my neighborhood. Everyone's neighborhood is different. It's made up of different people and different buildings. Remember, you might have a school in your neighborhood where you could walk to, or a playground. Let's read and see what these two kids find on their street. Their street is part of their neighborhood. And remember, your neighbors are who? Your neighbors are the people that live around you. All right, On Our Street. It's a big book. Nick and Rosita were playing with their dog, Perita. Lunchtime, Mama called. Come on in and bring Perita. Oh no! Where did Perita go? Better go look for her, said Mama. Let's ask our neighbors. Remember, the people who live around them. They all know Perita. Perita, Perita. Mr. Tran was washing one van. Have you seen Perita? Asked Rosita. Perita tangled my hose. Look, there she goes. Perita, Perita. Mrs. Suarez was painting two doors. Have you seen Perita? Asked Rosita. She knocked over my pail. Just follow her trail. It's also a rhyming book. Pail and trail rhyme. Perita, Perita. Mrs. Bowers was clipping 3 flowers. Have you seen Perita? Asked Rosita. She trampled my rose. See? There she goes. Perita, Perita. Mr. Reeves was raking 4 piles of leaves. Have you seen Perita? Asked Rosita. Your dog scattered the leaves. She ran off through those trees. Perita, Perita. Mr. Fox was hanging 5 socks. Have you seen Perita? Asked Rosita. She grabbed a striped sock. She took off down the block. Do you think they're going to catch their dog? I wonder. Guess who's here? Said Mama. Perita, Perita, cried Nick and Rosita. Look, she made home for lunch. Here is a map of the neighborhood. Where did Perita go? Remember, she went off over here to Mr. Tran with his van, then to the 2 doors. Then she went up to the roses over here, and then through the leaves, and then to the laundry, and then back home. She just made a big circle. All right, so now here's a question for you. So this is when you might need your family with, and you won't need any paper to draw, but you can figure it out. So this is about a boy named Andrew. And he figured out, it says, my family lives on Cooper Street. What is your street? So if I look out my window, I see that the street that I live on is called Virginia. Virginia Street. So go ask your families what street you live on. And then it says, we live in the city of Midway. What is your city or town? Now this is where it gets a little different, because even though you might live in the same neighborhood or the same area, you might live in a different town. I live in the town of St. Paul. That is different than where a lot of you live. A lot of you might live in St. Anthony. All right, so ask your families. Ask your family what street you live on and what town you live on. And it says, our town is in the state of Georgia. What is your state? Now this is where we're all the same. We all live in the state of Minnesota. Minnesota's right there. Yep. We all live in the state of Minnesota. And it says we all live in our country, the United States of America. So this is where we all live, in the country of the United States. So ask your families. You need to remember what street you live on, what town or city you live in, what state. Remember, we all live in the same state. It's the state of Minnesota. And what country? The USA. All right. Thanks for reading.